All right, we got Cliff here getting ready for the DE test session. We got Alex inspecting the show and tell, and there's the show and tell. And Mr. RCU Ralph. No, I won't get you. Don't want to be seen at the club meeting. Hello, Ralph. Good morning. Anything for the folks at home?
Good morning.
Good morning. All righty. And it's about 7:45. We're getting prepared for the club meeting to start. Faithful secretary, Doug, and the DE team. And the folks are starting to gather. Our long-distance stranger, our 95HK, has joined us here. Want to say anything to the studio audience?
Great to be here.
And around the room. Different folks coming in this morning. Family way. Well, good morning. Anything you want to say to the folks at home? Betty? Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to our club. Anyhow, we'll get ready for the meeting to start here shortly. Well, for the show here. The only thing I care about anymore is keep my balance. There we go. Got you on the live TV. Good stories getting told.
When I did some training with the kids, they had this little deal where the individual, the teacher, the gym leader, whatever, would raise their hand. And I remember there's a fan above my head, so I'm not going to raise my hand right here to get your attention. If I did, it might have been a little funny because they are wooden blades. So. Well, welcome everybody. Holy cow. I was talking to Walt a little while ago, and he says, we might need to get a bigger room. And I'm like, you know, if we take those things down and knock that partition out, we can just take all that too. All right. So, for those who haven't been here long enough to know, there's another room in this building, and it's up in that far left corner, and it's got 6 tables in it. We used to meet in there, and when we met in there, if we crammed everybody together as tightly as we could onto the tables, of the 6, we'd probably have 4 that were vacant. We've grown from that to this, and not everybody's here. So, as of this morning, we now have 62 members in our club. All right. So, you know how it is. Not everybody's active, and that's okay. Some people show up, some people don't show up. They'll come a few, they won't come a few, but even those who don't show up, they're still part of our group. You think about them, and they're welcome here anytime. Those of us in this room who are not club members, you're welcome to continue to participate. You can join the club if you want to. We won't shun you if you don't. We want to make sure this is a very welcome environment. We want to make sure everybody has fun. So, with that being said, my name is Gary. My call sign is WD5DW. I'm the president of the organization, and I'd like to welcome everybody here today. As we do every month, we go around the room. We give your call sign and your name, and if you want to give your location where you live, that's cool too, because we do have some people who travel, and I think it's good to know who travels. I'm from here, Copperas Cove. It took me about 5 minutes to get here. So, but nonetheless, we do have some people that travel. One of our members who lives, well, actually we have 2 members who live in Evant. One of them I heard from. Have you heard from the other one? No. So we got 2 members that live in Evant, and unfortunately neither one of them are here. One of them contacted me and told me that he was going to be busy rearranging neutrons or something. No, I know what it was. He's on the election on the election committee, so it's election day, and he's a troubleshooter for elections. That's what it was. I thought it was a troubleshooter for electrons. But it must be. So it's okay. Comedy is fun. So anyhow, let's rock it around the room, and we'll go. You start.
Oh, K5CRA, Ross. I'm their note-taking secretary, although this camera probably will replace me soon.
There you go. All right.
W5COE, Togo, from Killeen, Texas, my wife Hazel.
All right. Cameraman.
The cameraman, Steve, NU5D, like a nickel under $5 out of Gatesville, South Mountain.
All right.
Morning, folks. Steve, W5HK from Bastrop, about an hour and 30 minutes away. Good to be here.
Bastrop, thank you. I appreciate that. Excuse me, sir, with the glasses on and the young face?
Oh, hi, Kilo Delta 9 India at work here at Copperas Cove. 5 minutes or less.
There you go.
Bruce, KD6UI, Copperas Cove, and his dad.
There you go. Be proud of that.
Tim, AI5DA, Cove. Scott, KI5PHX, Parker Heights.
All right.
Alex, KI5FK3.
All right.
Greg, KF7TRK from Vernon.
WW5RON, Ron from Vernon.
All right.
Alpha Alpha 5 Mike Yankee, Byron, Colleen.
W5RCU for Alvin Cole.
KG5QNI, Jim in Copperas Cove, and I belong to.
Oh, KT5TSO, Mary, I'm your net control and your family.
All right. KI5LUI, Greg Killeen.
KI5 Zulu Lima Echo, Tom from Cove.
All right, Tom.
KI5 YCR, Brandon here from Copperas Cove.
Yay, welcome, Brandon.
Thank you.
K7TWL, Thomas and Kevin. KD5KAI, Ross from South.
All right.
KJ5PN, Richard from Florence.
Good deal.
Chris, KI5WYQ, Cove.
All right.
Alpha Alpha 5, Papa Fox, Paul from Florence, and Melissa.
Melissa from Cove.
Yay, Melissa. All right, dancing lady.
AI5GL, Pam from Topsy.
Alpha 5 Golf Victor, Rick, Topsy.
TJ5 APM, Bill Noel from Parker Heights.
Dell, K5WBC, Park Heights.
Braden from Parker Heights, still have a license yet, but I just passed my technician.
There you go. Congratulations. So, a week or so, STC will give you your license, and you'll be good with a technician call. All right.
N5CDE, Walt from Pitco.
K5THY, Kathy from Copperas Cove.
K5ULK, James from Copperas Cove.
AC9, QHW, Gino, I live here.
All right.
K5JGW, Joe from Cove.
Okay.
KI5.
ATI, yeah. Chris in Harper Heights.
All right.
I'm Jerry, KG5YEP.
Our newest member,
I'm Dawn, Batesville.
not yet, but she's going to get her a license. She's already decided.
Teddy, K5UET.
Marcella, W5AAB, I'm their tracer.
Bud, WB4J.
Cove.
AG5UQ, Cliff, Killeen.
All right. Did we miss anybody? So those who your call sign didn't rattle right off of your tongue, I know that some of you are brand new, and with time that will improve. And the more that you're on the air, that will improve. Don't worry about stumbling a little bit or forgetting or even the phonetics. The phonetic alphabet sometimes is a little tough for folks to learn, especially if they've never been in the military or been in an environment where having to learn those phonetic alphabet becomes easy to them. So know that it's okay if you stumble. Know that it's okay because we've all been there at least once, okay? Some of us, it might have been a year ago when we were there. Some of us, it might have been 2 decades ago. But needless to say, don't sweat it if it doesn't roll off naturally. It'll come, okay? Keep using it, and get on the air, and that really will help you out. All right. With us having 62 members, We need to have a quorum of 21. If y'all want to, everybody that's a member, dues paying member, raise your hand. Look around.
That's more.
Does anybody think we have a quorum? If so, make a motion.
I'll make a motion, we have a quorum.
KJ5PN made the motion that we have a quorum. Second. KG5TSO, Mary made the second to the quorum. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. All right, we have that was coincidental. We're gonna have to poll the membership to see who named. That was coincidental. So we'll say that we do have a quorum, so we can conduct business if need be. So we'll start off with presentations or show and tell. Presentations or show and tell is something that we do every month. You can bring something in to show us and tell us about it. You can just tell us something if you want to tell us something. If you want to make a presentation, typically if you give us a little heads up, then that gives us the ability to at least allot some time for it or ready people. So I'm going to go ahead and I believe Steve is going to do a show and tell. And if y'all would give him your attention and we'll pay attention. Time is really into a lot of things radio. And he spent a long time with his own radio shop and doing radio stuff, and that didn't even come close to qualifying him, but he knows some stuff. So let's listen to Steve.
Well, I get to have fun with this stuff. One of the things, a lot of people like hot spots. I've got a real hot spot. It's so hot that we've got to have cooling fins on it. What I have is a dual band radio. This happens to be an ICOM ID800. Any radio. A 1940 model Motorola with a clunking relay and a dynamotor. It don't matter. Radio is radio. The radio is hooked to a circuit board. And this particular circuit board can be had as a top hat to fit on a Raspberry Pi and use a Pi to control the board. I'm doing it a little bit differently. I'm not using a Raspberry Pi, but rather I ran across these Dell 3040s on eBay for 28 bucks. They come without a power transformer. The reason they do that, Dell in their wisdom came up, there's Dell right there. In their wisdom came up with a power transformer and a plug that is an oddball. I've never seen it before and haven't seen it since plug. So, using an 1/8" drill bit, taking the cover off, I drilled a hole and soldered in a garden variety anywhere from 5 volts to 12 volt 2 amp wall wart. Works just fine. The board is a number of things. It has an STM32, which is Thompson ARM microprocessor, circuitry to allow this board to key the radio. Now you can see what's inside. To key the radio, to receive, to have microphone connection, to tell if the channel's busy. In other words, this board fully communicates with this radio. Just as though you were sitting there with the mic, this board does the job. What does the board do? It handles digital modes like Project 25, or DMR, or Yaesu Fusion, or M17, or Kenwood's NXDN. It also functions as a sound card to allow the computer, and this is a x86-64 Intel-based processor, not a Armbian or not a Raspberry Pi, but the computer can have Echolink or can have All-Star Link. So just about any format of amateur radio, digital or analog, is accomplished in this board. They could also, if you wanted just analog and no digital, I'm sure a lot of y'all are familiar with signal link boards and so forth. This is called a RIM, radio interface module light, and it does the same job basically. You plug it in, and you plug it into your computer, which I don't have my glasses with me, but suffice it to say it'll plug in. And now we have an analog interface. This rim light, though, is nothing more than a CM119 sound card that you can buy for $5 any day of the week. Why pay 60 bucks or 100 bucks when you can pay $5? If you've ever tried to solder a number 30 wire, which is about the size of a human hair, that's why I spend the 60 bucks, because you have to buy at least 3 of these, because you're going to ruin 2 of them trying to hook it up. But the point is, if you're dexterous and able to do some fine work, you can get on with a $5 interface, your own radio, and a $20 computer, and with that you can have Echolink, and with that you can have an All-Star node. Take it up a ramp if you want to handle the digital modes, then we go a step further and have a top hat, and this one handles all the digital modes, your Fusion, P25, DMR, and so forth. Okay, that's one thing. The other part of it, this is just general information. A lot of you guys maybe have an older PC that's running a little sluggish and you'd like to speed it up a little bit. I ran across these on Amazon for $9.95. It's a 120 gig SSD ADA solid-state drive. Very inexpensive. They seem to work reasonably well. And if they don't work, you can always, with Amazon, send it back and get another one. Anyhow, I've been using these to perk up old computers. Another little thing, I've got all kind of junk in here. I, at home, have a repeater, an older repeater that uses crystals. No big deal. Crystals used to be 2 or 3 bucks. Today, it costs $127 to buy a pair of crystals, where there used to be Century and International and Jan and Marden and 10, 15 different crystal manufacturers. In the United States, there's one, Bomar, that advertises, say, making crystals. So, if I wanted to take my little wall mount repeater that I have and crystal it up and use it, it's 127 bucks. But what if I want to change frequency? Another $127. The crystals kind of have me saddled. So with that in mind, I got a hold of Toby Driscoll, and Toby's been on a project with CB radios called Direct Digital Synthesis. Well, Toby, what are you doing? Well, I take a CB radio and I pull the synthesizer out of it, and I put my own synthesizer in. Well, really, how do you do that? Well, what it really takes, this is called a Tiny 85. It's a little microprocessor, costs about $5. It plugs in a USB port. You plug it in. The software is called Arduino Duo. It's free download. You download the software, you pick a little program, and it feeds this chip with the information to tell another board what frequency to go to. Okay? Say I want to put it on 443, 325. My computer, USB, tells this thing to make a particular frequency. The next $5 or $10 board is actually the digital synthesizer. The problem with this, when you power it up, it's dumb, it don't know what to do. This knows what to do. So we tie the two of them together, I power it up, the little processor tells the synthesizer, I want you to get on 443, 325, bang, we're there. And a second one for transmit, which has a modulator in it. And now for about $15, $20, you've replaced $127 worth of crystals. And if you want to change frequency next week, you plug the little Tiny 85 in and tell him my new frequency is, bang, bang, and you're there. So that's one part. Again, the little Dells, I find these things on eBay for 28 bucks. One other thing, and I wish Kevin were here because he's our expert on that. I bought 2 of these little TV boxes for 11 bucks a piece, and the intent was to make them act like Innovato Quadra, which is a little low-cost computer. This uses an H616. Remember that number because it will not work. So if anybody wants a couple of TV boxes, they're good TV boxes, but they're not good ham boxes. I got these for, they'll probably be on the next tailgate sale. But another T95, same price, same thing out of China, and you plug an SD card in the side, as you can on that one. And this one is educationable, it can be trained. And this particular one runs a program called Ham Pie. A Ham Pie is an assembled, ready to go. You download the image, plug it in, and now FT8, FLDG, a number of ham programs, preloaded, plug it in and go. Also, there's another x86 based. Ham Pie only works on Raspberry Pi or that architecture, but there's another set of programs, KB1OXQ, I believe it is. Andy Stewart has a set of programs that run on an x86. So you can put this on your desktop computer and run that set of, desktop, or it's a Ubuntu derivative, but it'll run on an x86 processor. So I probably bored y'all all to death with a lot of numbers, but this is where our hobby is going. I don't think everybody is probably going to run out and buy chips and start making crystals, but the technology is here. It's simple enough to get a computer, and in a room like this, there's others that will help you get something going. If you really wanted to try out Ham Pie, or you really wanted to try out Andy Stewart's software, we're a big enough club that one can help another and actually get you on the air and play with some things. The idea is, it's not the destination, hey, I'm on FT8, I'm on this or that. The journey is getting there, playing with it, and having $11 put them in the trash can because this don't work, I made a mistake things. Another one, I got to share one other mistake, and I don't know where it is at, but I had a computer, Dell 9020, that wasn't acting right. So I opened him up, pulled the processor out, and the processor is somewhere here in a clear bag. I run my thumb over the pins, I'm going to clean them up. Little did I know there's 128 pins the size of a needle, and I think I bent over about 15 or 20 of them. So I got my magnifying glass out, and I got a needle out, and then I got on eBay, and you can buy another motherboard for 15 bucks. It'll be a few days. That's the end of that one. We make mistakes, we tear up stuff, we let the smoke out of things, but we have fun doing it. So that's my program, that's what I had for you guys. I hope you enjoy. I was talking with a young ham last night on one of the repeaters, and been a ham for 4 years. I said, hey, that's wonderful. You are our future. Anything I can do to hand you the torch, anything I can do to help you get on the program, to enjoy the hobby, that's what we're here for. So you new guys, don't worry about it. So you don't have the call off the tip of your tongue, or you can't cite Ohm's law. That's not what it's about. It's a journey, it's a travel, it's a meeting people, it's a having fun doing. That's what it's all about. Thank you much, Mr. President. Back to Ned.
Thank you.
I told y'all, he knows some stuff. I'll tell you what. Wow. If you want to make a presentation, we definitely want to have you up here to do that. Does anybody else have anything to show or tell or make a presentation about? Yes, sir.
Nothing to show, just a quick tell. Hard to believe, but last month, it's been 2 years since I passed my test. Every one of you in this room has helped me in some way, somehow. Some of you more than you know. Thank you.
Anybody else got a show or a tell?
I got to tell.
All right, tell us about it.
I'm hoping everybody signed up for Code Red if you live in Central Texas. If you have not signed up, I've got some cheat sheets here to do so. So come see me after the meeting.
Absolutely. Code Red, for those who've got it, you probably got a couple last night that said you got a flood warning and whatever else, depending upon where you live. So it's definitely a good thing to be signed up on is for Code Red. Anybody else got a show or tell? So Tailgate Swap Fest, we had what, last week? Had a few people that showed up, had a good time. And for those who came out there, awesome, you know what I'm saying? For those of you who didn't, you missed it. It was fun, we had a good time. I know we had Beltonham Expo. I went to Beltonham Expo, as I know many of y'all did. Yes, I was disappointed as well that there were some vendors that didn't show up, but after talking to them, or talking to the powers that be that know stuff, they were able to explain why. So that's all right, we'll give them a bye. They better be there next year. But anyhow, it was a good little swap fest. I took my sweetheart Dawn with me, and she got to, I talked about it for a couple of weeks, and we went in there to look, and I told her, I said, you're going to see everything imaginable electronic-wise out there. And there was. I mean, there was radio stuff, computer stuff, widgets, gidgets, dilly-bops, and things. I don't know. There was stuff out there that I didn't even know what it was. But it was out there and it was for sale. So the swap fests are pretty good. I have only ever been to Belton, and I'm going to make it for the next 12 months. I'm going to make a challenge to myself to go to 2 other swap fests somewhere. I don't know where, but I'm going to go to 2 others just so that I can say I went somewhere. I hear Cowtown's good. I don't know when Cowtown is. Cowtown's behind us, right?
Yeah.
So I'll have to catch Cowtown next year. But go to other swap fests. Another thing I want to encourage you to do, go to another club meeting. Now, I know several of y'all in here go to other club meetings, so I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to those who have only been here. Look out there and see about going to another club meeting. Doesn't mean you gotta go join a club, but go to the club meeting just to see what they do. Just so that you can get a little exposure, okay? Just so you can get a little exposure. So that's my challenge to you. Coming up in 2 weeks, yeah, coming up in 2 weeks, the Rabbit Fest will be held here in town. It'll be out at the big city park. So if you go, cool. If you're not going, but you're going to be in town, just be aware. Traffic's going to be a bear in about 2 weeks because the Rabbit Fest out at the city park. The Rabbit Fest parade will be Saturday the 20th, and it goes down Avenue D, parallel to the railroad tracks from the high school all the way down to Cove Terrace where the paint store is. So if you want to go and watch the parade, feel free to go and do that. Just want to make sure you're aware that there's activity going on.
I like some more too, please.
Anybody else show or tell? Presentation. All right, moving right along. Don't have anything for old business, so we'll go to new business. It is that time of the year where we have to appoint a committee to do an inventory of all club assets, and I need at least 3 people, preferably not, well, definitely not the 3 people from last year, which 2 of them aren't even here. So if anybody in the next 30 days would like to be a member of a committee of 3 people that goes out to the radio tower site and to 2 other places to inventory to make sure all of the property that we own is present and accounted for, raise your hand. KJ5PN, you're selected. All right. KI5PHX, you are selected. Ross Cavanis, I can't remember your call, but that's okay. You're selected. Okay. So, did you write that down?
No, I've been trying to get it.
KI5PHX.
A5.
KI5.
I5. PHX.
KJ5PN.
KJ5PN.
Ross. KD5KKI.
Got it.
Okay. So y'all will be the audit committee. I will give you the property list from last year so that y'all can see that. And the 3 of y'all will need to get together. You'll have to coordinate with me to get into the tower site. And I can be available just about any day. I do have the club Go Box at my house and the antenna, so I'll make that available to you. And if we can work with Pam and Greg, we can either go to their house and do the trailer verification, or maybe they can bring it in town or something. Now they've got the license plates renewed, so. But it's usually like a half a day, and going out and just verifying things are there and looking at stuff. Up at the tower site, we got a little bit of extra equipment that's not on our list, but the stuff that's on our list is up at the tower. Okay. Any comments or discussion on that before we go to the field day? Yes, sir.
The stuff that's not on the property list, can we put it on the list?
Well, only there's some stuff that we don't currently own.
Okay.
So we can put it on there, but we don't currently own it. Steve owns most everything. Yeah, he's saying no. Yeah, we'll put it on the property list, one way or another. We've accumulated some items. Would that be appropriate to say we've accumulated some items?
Appropriated.
Appropriate, yes. All right, anything else on that before we move to the next one? This is a short meeting today for those who don't usually go. Field day. Kevin is unable to be here. He is out hanging out with his grandchild, doing some grandpa-grandchild stuff today. So we have been approved to use Ogletree Gap. But we cannot go on to the property to start setting up until noon. That's the only caveat.
Approved to what?
Ogletree Gap. Ogletree Gap. O-G-L-E tree. O-G-L-E tree. So Ogletree Gap. As you leave here and you go down Main Street to 190, you take a right. Once you get on 190, drive down 190, you'll go up a hill, down a hill, and as soon as you start making the turn to the left, turn to the right, and that's Ogletree Gap. It's basically in a big area surrounded by mountains.
Fire station's there too.
Power station?
Isn't there a fire station?
Oh, yes, the fire station is just past it, so if you pass the fire station, you went a little too far, I'm sorry. We have utilized the site before. It's got a big covered canopy. It does have the most important thing, which is potties. There's no air conditioning, okay, but it's okay. We have fun, and we will be there for 24 hours-ish, and everybody is welcome to participate. Kevin is the main driver on this, so I'm only kind of priming y'all. I see your hand just one second. We will finalize the details at the next meeting. Yes, ma'am.
Would we be allowed to bring our horse trailer out there?
So you can bring whatever you want to bring, but it has to stay on the pavement. That's the only thing, it has to stay on the pavement. No tent camping, this, that, and the other from the traditional aspect. We can't go out there and set up we can't go out and set it up like a state park. You can go out there and make a smaller impact. The deal is, that facility typically closes at 11 p.m. and it's closed till 7 a.m. We got a special exception. With us having a special exception, there's only certain things we can do with a special exception. So, with that being said, Kevin will finish coordinating the who, the what, the when, the why, the where. We just know that we got Ogletree Gap and we can't do anything until noon. And that's because another group had reserved it for that weekend, for that Saturday. They don't need it the whole day. They just said we should be done by noon and y'all can come on in. So I told everybody I would let everybody know.
They pay for their time there.
Yeah, they pay for their time there. So we're not paying. I'm covering it under what I do. Okay, this is going to be a sanctioned function, sir.
What day is that?
24, 25 of June.
Oh, that's pretty good notice.
Yep. Birthday, anniversary. 24 and 25 of June. It'll be Saturday and Sunday. So, if you've never been to field day, you need to come. Okay? An hour, 10 hours, 24 hours, whatever the case may be, it doesn't really matter, but we need you to come. You never worked on HF? We still need you to come. We'll have radios there. We'll have people that'll teach you how to use the radio. We will probably for sure do a digital station. We will teach you digital. You'll get to operate the computer. You'll get to operate the radio. Your voice will be conveyed. You don't got to bring nothing. Just yourself and any chair you choose to sit in, okay? If you don't bring your own chair, you may be standing or sitting on the ground. Ma'am.
Even if we have people here who don't have a license yet, at field day, you may be on the radio without a license.
So long as you are supervised by a licensed operator, yes, you may. That is correct. So I want you all there.
Thank you.
You don't have to stay the whole time. If you'll just come and spend an hour, just come out and see what it is, come out and set up, come out and tear down. I will tell you this, if you're there Sunday morning at some time o'clock, I don't know what time it is, some time o'clock, right? We will have breakfast tacos. Teddy makes breakfast tacos. But if you're going to be there at some time o'clock on Sunday morning to be a participant in the tacos, we probably could use a little head count. So we buy enough to be able to do that. The club does have a budget for that event, so we will provide some drinks, some snacks, and we'll provide the breakfast stuff in the morning if you're going to be there at some time o'clock. And some time o'clock is what time, Teddy?
Whenever I get up.
Whenever Teddy gets up. Okay? So, this is an ongoing thing. Teddy and I and Priscilla and Bud, we've done field day a long, long time with a lot of other people coming in. I don't remember even how many years. A lot. More than 10. And Teddy's always made breakfast tacos. So that's kind of been the Sunday morning deal. That's kind of a reward. Yeah. So, any questions from anybody? We will probably run, again, Kevin's the final on this, but because he's not here, I'm just taking it. We will probably run 2 and probably no more than 3 transmitters. However many transmitters we run, we got to be able to make sure we can run those transmitters for the entire time that we're there. And so if we decide that we're going to be being 3 simultaneous transmitters, and we only have enough people to run 1, or we only have enough people to run 2 for the entire event, then that's a waste, and it puts us in a different class. So there's plenty of time. Everybody gets to be able to operate on the radio. If you want to come and operate the radio, great. If you want to come and sit and talk and drink your tea and watch, come and do that, okay? If you're like, hey, I like to make cheese dip, I'm going to bring some cheese dip, then bring cheese dip. Just let us know so we'll know. But it's just a good time for us to come out, bring your family, bring your chairs to sit in, okay? And if you forget, bring your chairs to sit in. You've been told. Because those of you who've been here before, y'all know, right? There was a discussion about, well, how do we get our signal? Because it's kind of a low down place. We'll be burning the sky, okay? We'll just put our dipoles out there and we're just going to burn the sky up. And we'll bounce the signals all around and we're going to have fun. So, last chance, any comments, questions?
I got one.
Yes, sir.
You gonna bring the ladder again?
I don't know. I don't know.
It would be nice.
I don't know. I'll get back to you on that.
Like a ladder truck?
Yeah, she's talking about ladder truck. Well, I mean, because you think about it, if you have a ladder truck that extends at about 103 feet off of the ground, it's a really good place to hang the center of a dipole.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll have to see.
And you drop it down and change it and put it another way up.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody's got a cat in a tree, they're out of luck, huh?
I got a 7-year-old that would like that job.
Yeah, I'll bet. All right. Yes, Alex.
I just wanted to ask, if I brought a drone from Dr. Pop, would I be able to record and take pictures of the event?
So long as it's not a no-fly zone, drone yourself.
It's a fly zone.
Yeah, come on.
All right.
Bring it on out. I mean, you know the safety rules. You do it to it. Bring drone out. We'd love
We
it.
did a couple of years ago.
If somebody says, man, I got this really cool radio, I want to bring it out and I want to see if it'll work. Well, you can bring it out and see if it'll work. We can even use it during the contest. We'll just unplug the transmitter, plug in your transmitter, we'll use yours for a little while, and then we'll switch it back. So whatever number we come up with, whatever, we're going to run on generator power to power the radios, okay? And it will be whatever God's temperature is that day, okay? There's no air conditioning out there, so whatever God gives us is what we get. Yes, sir.
I'm assuming you want me to bring the trailer so we can do solar.
Yes, the club trailer, I would like it to be out there because we can run, I'll tell you this, I did field day one time on a deep cycle battery and never ran it. So yes, we will want the trailer out there so we can run solar.
And also mount an antenna on it.
And we can mount an antenna. So, all right, any other questions?
Comment about antenna.
Oh, yes, sir.
If you have an antenna you want to test, you can take it out there.
Yep.
And there may be somebody help you trim it out if you don't know how to trim it.
Yep. Yeah, we'll be out there. A lot of folks will have their tools and stuff. And, I mean, it's a good time just to come out and look, right? Kevin, K5CRA, again, is going to be running the show, so whatever whatever direction it takes us. Okay? All right, anything else on that topic before we move forward? Members not present, sick, affirmed, or other. Chief?
We have several. Well, Jim's recovering from surgery, but he's doing okay. He's here. Ray Mackin, I call Cowboy Ray out of Oglesby. He's got a back problem. He's out of work for about, I think he said 12 weeks. It hurts him pretty bad, so that's why he's probably not here today. And then we have James, K5CRA. A lot of y'all haven't met him. He was active a little while back. And he's only in his early 20s, been battling cancer for 5 years. For a while they said it was gone. It came back and then also went through his other lung. He went to Cleveland and for a special trial thing over there for a month or two. He came back and it tore him apart as far as physically. He said he lost 40 pounds, his dad did. He has decided not to continue with that treatment because it's harder on him than cancer itself probably. So he's supposed to have surgery on the 12th if he gets his strength back up because he's not eating that well. But I think they even have a little tube to help feed him when he can't, feel like eating, by mouth. But he's hanging in there. I did have talked to him on the phone. He's upbeat, but he sounds completely wore out. And anybody who's dealt with people with cancer and chemo understand that. They've heard him on the radio before. And he's struggling, but he's going to make it. So his parents are working hard.
Yes.
Who's the second guy you mentioned?
So the second one is Ray Mackin.
Ray Matches.
Ray?
We need to set a meeting too.
Hold on a second, hold on.
Probably wouldn't hurt. Ray likes things like that.
I brought a couple.
So, and James, they're doing a card for James.
Thank you.
Either I'll deliver it to his parents or clean at the clean auction house, or you can mail it, Mary, either way.
Anything else, sir?
That's it.
Anybody else know of somebody that's sick, affirmed, or other that's not here? Yes?
This is for me. I'm having my second cataract surgery on Monday for my right eye. I had my left one a couple of weeks ago, and that went really well. I've got 20/20 vision in my left eye, so I'm hoping for a good outcome in the right one. I'm having Dr. Plummer do it on Monday. I'll be having it done at 4:30 in the afternoon, so if y'all can think about me and keep me in your prayers, I appreciate it.
Monday at 4:30, Pam's going to get cataract surgery, other eye. All right, anybody else, anything else on that one?
It was James and who?
Ray Mackin. You know Ray.
Oh, Ray.
Okay, volunteer examiner, Chief.
We had two tested. Well, actually, we had two others scheduled. They canceled out. They weren't ready, I guess. Two tested, one for general. Dylan and his brother, Braden, both took tests. Braden took the tech and passed it. Dylan didn't quite make it through the general, but now they're both techs, and I've encouraged them to work together since they're brothers, across from each other, and drill each other as they go. So hopefully that'll work out and we can motivate them to get their general license. But appreciate it. And their dad, WC's already got it. So
Yeah.
I just thought I'd mention that. Thank y'all.
All right. Going into the for good of all. I'm going to speak to something that's very important to my heart right now. I'm going to take this opportunity for the good of all. The Copperas Cove Fire Department since July of 2020 has actually lost 2 members as a result of line of duty. That's not something that we're proud of. It's a very sad and unfortunate circumstance. This weekend is the honor and memorial weekend for the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation. And that is taking place in Emmitsburg, Maryland. And one of the things that we're doing each evening, barring the storms that came in last night, is we're lighting up that fire station across the street in red. If you've gone to the Copperas Cove Fire Department Facebook, you should see a post that was put on there that shows you the picture of it is red. It also talks about the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation. and the memorial service is taking place this weekend. The family of Jose Negrete is in Maryland at this moment. They arrived yesterday, and their son and husband Jose will be honored this evening with a candlelight vigil, as well as 149 other firefighters. Tomorrow, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern time, I believe, so it'll be 9 here, they're going to be doing the actual service. That service is broadcast on the website. You could go find that information if you would like to view it at firehero.org, firehero.org, and you would find on there the weekend. It would be a weekend thing, and they'll actually have it live streaming on there. They have a Facebook channel, a YouTube channel, this, that, and the other. If not for anything, if you want to go take a look, there's 150 heroes that are being recognized this weekend. While Jose did die in 2020, some of the recognitions are delayed because of COVID, and sometimes they have to go through a process to verify that was considered a line of duty. So they're doing that. Our other member, I would assume, based on the timing, they would be recognized next year, kind of in the same fashion. So that's something that's real close to my heart. I just wanted to put it out there for y'all to know, especially my brother firefighters that are well aware of this. And if you feel inclined, Copperas Cove firefighter Jose Negrete will be honored. So,
Can I add to that?
yes.
I get a report every week just about for the week of April 23rd to the 29th. There was 31 home fire deaths, and we up to 27 firefighter deaths for the year so far. So keep those firefighters in your prayers.
Thank you, Bob. And then May 21st to the 27th is EMS week, and that's the week that is set aside to recognize emergency medical services professionals. So what I challenge you and encourage you to do is over the next couple of weeks, if you happen to see an emergency medical provider, and please remember the EMS is an encompassing group of first responders, volunteer firefighters, police officers, of course paramedics and EMTs, pretty much anybody who, if something bad has happened, they go forth to help. They're all encompassed and recognized during EMS week. I encourage you, if you see a uniformed member who you know is a first responder, let them know you care. That right there is, it means something to them. They may not know how to reply to you because typically they're very humble and they don't understand how to welcome the appreciation because they're not in it for that. So if they stumble around or they're like, oh, well, thanks, or whatever, it's okay. That's how we treat it because we don't look for the appreciation. But if you happen to see them and you feel compelled to say something, if it's on your heart, just let them know you appreciate them if you feel so inclined to do so. Okay? Yes, sir.
Well, not on that issue, on the other issue.
Yeah, the other thing, so anybody else got it for good of all before I know the chief's got one, go ahead.
Yeah, on the same subject, there's a group named Guns and Hoses, which also provides funds for the wives and for the fallen firefighters and police officers that protect us. So if you can, get to that through the website, Guns and Hoses. My son runs a hockey group, and all the proceeds from those hockey games near Denton go to that, as well as the collection of funds through their website.
Absolutely. Anybody else? All right, Chief, you got the floor.
When I came here today, I started thinking about, I do the net, and even though there's people every once in a while get on there and say, hey, does anybody have a dual band radio for sale or something like that? What better place than maybe this meeting, because everybody doesn't go to the tail swap. Everybody doesn't go on the internet or on the Simplex net or whatever. If someone has something to sell, this would be an idea to buy and want something. There's a lot of people out here probably has equipment they want to sell, but they just don't advertise it out. So somebody looking for something, and Chris brought it to mind to me because he was looking for a dual band radio. why not announce, hey, I'm looking for a dual band radio. Does anybody have one for sale? Or any of the new hams may be looking for something. And if they're serious about looking for something, then those who have things for sale can get with them, say, hey, listen, I've got something you might be interested in, and sell some of that stuff that's been a paperweight, and you're trying to get rid of anyway. So it'd be an opportunity to get more, I guess, a closer relationship to buy it. You can give them your number, you can change, but it doesn't have to be big, but it's, this is what I need. And if somebody has something to sell, hey, it's a good time to sell something you don't want anyway. So just thought I'd bring it up.
Absolutely. So anybody in the room got something they want to part with or that they're looking for, they want to put it out? Go ahead.
Well, I'm looking for a portable dual band. Right now I have a ICOM 2200, and it's really good. It fits nice in the car and everything. But, you know, as soon as I can get a nice dual band for the car, I would be willing to part with that 2200. So if you got something that you want to sell, then we can just do a domino effect, I guess, you know, and I'll get rid of that. So,
All right.
that's all I got.
Anybody else got a want or a sell? Go ahead.
I got a no-scope I'm willing to sell. I take too much to use it. It does work.
Okay. Anybody else? All right. Anybody else got something for the good of all before we go into the drawings? So, our wonderful Silent Key Bob did our drawings. And prior to him, Robert Cathy had done it. I missed anybody in between coming, but drawings are probably one of the best, you know, parts of our club meeting, because you get, some people are going to get to leave here with something new that they didn't bring when they came here. The drawings have been taken over by Rick and Pam. They offered to do that. I was able to get the stuff back from Bob's family. We ended up having, like $60 in revenue that was in the package that I turned back. So the drawing deal has $50 in there that they can spend each month for doing drawings to come up with whatever. The drawings come in. We buy the tickets, the chances, you get the opportunity. Where do the proceeds go? The proceeds go right back into the club to do stuff for the club to make the club better. That's where your money goes. We keep an accurate record of the in and the out, and you get to walk out of here with something. So 3 people are going to get to walk out of here today, or 2 people if you're really lucky, or if you're really, really lucky, 1 person's going to get to walk out of here with 3 tubs. We'll see. If 1 person walks out with all 3 tubs, we may have to do a recount on that or something. But this is an opportunity, and they get full opportunity to pick whatever's in them tubs. I don't know what's in them. Next week or the next month when we do it, it might be paper sacks with stuff in it. I don't know.
It'll be up to you. We won't be here.
That's right. They won't be here, so we will or won't have a drawing next month, maybe, or something or other. But anyhow, this is just a fun thing for us.
Okay, get your tickets out. Ticket number 1 is number 828.
Excuse me.
Last 3 numbers, 828. Who's got the lucky ticket?
Walt's got it. All right.
828.
All right.
Everybody got the
Winner, winner, winner.
Hey, Joe. The orange bucket cards.
Yeah, the bucket is not a bad thing.
And there is
Number
something.
3 is number 800. Number 800. Last 3 numbers. Wow, this is a hot table here.
I got 2 out of them.
What? Across the table, buddies? What?
Yeah.
What can I say?
Redraw.
Last ticket number is number 738. 738.
All right, bro.
There you go.
Okay, well, come get
Brian, tickets.
I live in South Florida.
All right, sir. Bud just told me, he goes, I miss Robert. I haven't won once since he
I think Robert Earl put mine in.
Yeah, he didn't put yours in. He was put twice in for Bud, so he could win. All right. So we've got anything else on the for good of all before I go to the closing? Yes, sir.
I do want to mention Ray Mackin, who's not here, does have a Icon 706 for sale with mounting brackets and everything for the vehicle, everything with it, and for $400. So if anybody's looking for a game contact.
It's a 706 Mark II Golf for 400 and all the above. So for those who don't know, the 706 is 160 all the way to 70 centimeters, all modes, and $400 is a good price. Good price. I mean, that's a smoking good price.
We've got two of them.
There you go. All right. Anybody else? Anything else for good of all before we go to close? Everybody, thank you for coming to the meeting. Really personally appreciate us being here and having a good close-knit group. Please, you're on the air, you're listening, and somebody goes out and puts their call out. We're putting their call out because they want to talk. If you can, talk to them. You don't got to talk to them all day, just talk to them for a couple of moments. Aside from that, thank you so much. Remember, tip our servers. They do a good job there. Y'all have a good day. And we have the room till 10 o'clock, so today's working hard.
Hey, I will take care of you, bud.